Sess, we're on the eve of the first game of the season, a trip to Accrington on Saturday. How much are you looking forward to getting started with this new campaign?
Yeah, a lot. I've been counting down the days, to be honest, to the start of the season. It's all well and good, like in pre-season with the games and training being around the squad, but you want to be playing competitive games, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Talk to me about, from a personal point of view, you obviously arrived just after we got back from Spain. You've settled in really well. It seems to be a good group. There's a real togetherness here, it feels like. I mean, how have you settled in?
I'd like to really thank the staff. Really, they've allowed me to ease in terms of I started my pre-season a little later than the club, so they've looked after me well. But I'm getting up to shape now, and with the start of the season around the corner, I feel very confident in my body and in my ability to start well.
And it's been a challenging few weeks as far as the weather goes, more than anything else. We've had some really hot spells, a bit cooler at the moment. We've had a real mix of things. How's that affected you personally? Do you think it's those hot days were beneficial because it's going to set us up well for fitness?
Yeah, I think it can only benefit you. It's hard conditions, so you get through them. It's a big plus. But the boys haven't had any complaints. They've got down and done their work, so fair play to everyone involved. So it's set us up very nicely for the start of the season, where Saturday games are going to be very hot, and then 3 o'clock kickoffs, so we'll be all right.
You had your first little taste of wearing the red shirt at the Valley against Swansea last Saturday. First of all, did you enjoy that experience of seeing a much smaller crowd than what we will be used to for this season? But also, just as far as the game went, it was a real promising indication, wasn't it, of what we're trying to do here?
Absolutely, I think we can take a lot from that game. We did a lot of good things with the ball and defended very well without it. Probably let ourselves down with the goals, but in terms of all-round play, I think it was something we can build on. We were very good with the ball, playing out from the back and being very attacking, being a threat, especially from wide areas. So as long as we can take that into the league, I think we'll be good.
And the fact that Swansea, they're a good similar side to us. They like to get it down, pass out the back, keep possession. They're a good championship side, so the fact that we held our own, more than held our own against them, especially in the first half where we looked really impressive, it bodes well, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I always knew it was going to be a hard game against Swansea, and there are a few good teams in League One that can play football a similar way, who really want to get the ball down and play, so it was a good test. But in terms of other teams, I think we should also look to defend the opposite type of teams who want to be aggressive and very front foot. So it was a good test all round, but I think we can expect the opposite this weekend as well.
I was going to say, you couldn't get more opposite really than that sort of Swansea style, Charlton style now, if you like, passing from the back. Accrington, we know what they're about, always a really tough place to go. They'll get in our faces, they'll make life difficult for us. They'll probably kick lumps out of us as well, but how important is it to be prepared for all aspects of football that we're going to come up against? And is it beneficial to us, do you think, that we've got that straight off the bat?
I think it will be a good wake-up call regardless of how they come. I think when they come and they're aggressive, I think it'll be very good for it to be the first game of the season, because it'll set us up nicely. We're not going into it too easy, and it's not nice. It's quite aggressive and it's hard, so we're going to have to be switched on. But I look forward to it. I think the boys will be up for the challenge. I think it'll be a mistake to go there and think it'll be an easy game. It'll be a very hard game. First game of the seasons are never easy. So I think we look forward to stepping up to the challenge.
How important do you think it is to set a marker in that first game? Even if you're coming away with a point, you're avoiding defeat or whatever, but to get a win as well is a real bonus on opening day. But to set down a marker as far as performance goes and effort and as well, if you can get that first point on the board, how important is that?
Of course, they never say the first game of the season wins you the league, but it's very important, I think, especially for this club, to start well. So I think it will do us big favours if we put in a performance, also get the 3 points. If we have to grind down and take a scrappy win, I think we will just set ourselves up. But I think wherever the game, however it turns out, we'll be up for whatever challenge comes at us.
And the goal for us as a club is to be up in amongst it at the top end of that table this season, come what may. You experienced a little bit of that with Plymouth at the back end of last season. Ultimately, that ended up in disappointment on the very last hurdle. How much does that set you up for as far as being hungry for going one step further this season?
Being honest, it was all I could think about during the summer. Out on my holidays on the sunbed, just thinking about what could have been. So I think as long as I take this season game by game, wanting to take 3 points slowly and not thinking too much into the future, by the end of it, it should do us nicely. But it's definitely a target. I think it would be a mistake not to aim for the very top, and then you go off from there. But I think we should aim very high. We've got a good squad, we have a good mentality and a good manager, so we should be all right.
And just finally, we'll have a decent following up at Accrington. It's a long way to go on the opening day of the season, but the fans will be there in their numbers. What's your message for them as they're preparing to head up there and hopefully get off to a good start?
Well, I'd like to thank them for my welcome so far. I look forward to seeing them up and away support, and it should be a good day for everyone involved.